That's how Brussels sprouts grow, just like that. Not rotting at all. Here's the onions. Got 5 yellow. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Broyans Farm. We have another beautiful but yet chilly morning. If you've seen my previous video, you'll know that in 2 days it's going to be Thanksgiving, and yesterday at market we sold almost completely out. So now we need to get another good load of onions, cabbage, cauliflower, and other winter squash. So I think right here is our last 3 baskets of red for the season, and then back in here is the rest of them, which we have covered up with a blanket. And this is all yellow. We have covered up with a blanket just so that the cold weather doesn't freeze them. And you can see these are all yellow. So I'm gonna go start off by finishing up these reds, and then I'm gonna get into the yellow. I don't think I'm gonna clean them all up. Actually, I know I'm not gonna clean them all up. But then hopefully within the next couple days we can get them finished up, because the colder this weather gets, the less that blanket's gonna work, and it's actually just gonna soon break the onions down and rot them. In the summer, we usually pull our onions out of the ground, shuck them off a little bit, and then run them through our washer. But now since it's winter and we have our washer all basically put away now, we're only gonna shuck them, get all that outside loose, dirty layer off, and then just put them in the crate, and that's how they'll get sold. The funny thing is, they clean up so nice once you shell them that they're almost just as good as running through the washer. So we'll take this onion, for instance. You can see how kind of dirty and not real nice it is. You can see a little section of nice, and I'll just take that, peel it off. Let me throw some of this away. And now look at it. The onion almost looks brand new. So I just finished up the reds. I think I had a total of about 3 bad ones out of 3 baskets, which is really good, especially for this time of year. Now I'm moving on to the last basket of white onions, and usually we always like to get our white onions out of the ground first, get them sold, let people use them, because they seem to want to rot first. But this year was not only the best year we've ever had, but also just like for growing wise, but they're also not rotting at all. So just really happy. Don't know what was different this year with the onions. We did get them in at a very reasonable time, and we got them not when they were not so like wet, so they stored really nice. So if we can do this again next year, I mean, that'd be great, because like I said, we just cannot believe the size and how well they're keeping this late in the season. So now I'm onto the yellow. We actually have 2 different kinds of yellow here. We have sweet Spanish and candy. I'm not quite sure which one is which. I think the sweet Spanish is the bigger one, but there's a clear difference, because not only can I tell by the size, but also when I shell them, you can see how you can kind of see a little bit of the whitish of the onion in there. Now, when I get into a basket like this one over here, these ones, once I'm done peeling them, have almost a solid golden brown shell. I think it's way prettier, and they're a lot nicer size. So I'm trying to go and get a lot of this kind, which I think is candy, done and out of the way, get them sold. That way we're only left with probably about 10 baskets of the big, nice, beautiful ones. Not that there's anything wrong with these ones I'm doing now. It's just that, you know, they're not quite as nice. Like that onion versus that onion. Not a huge size difference, and they're both beautiful onions, really. It's just that I prefer this one over this one. Here's the onions. Got 5 yellow, half a white, and then on the bottom this is half a red, and then another full red. So then here's the truck. I'm starting to get that unloaded from yesterday's market. And then in the shed here, we have like 3/4 of a bin of cauliflower, mixed purple and white. That right there is from being frozen. I'm gonna look at it a little better, see if it needs to be thrown out or if we can keep it. But most of it, besides like 2 or 3 heads in here probably, is perfect. And then we have a bin of cabbage here. We picked about 2 days ago. A bin here, we picked the same day. And then we have one more bin here in the cooler. So all that cabbage that we cut now is ready to go to market when we're ready to take it. But the cauliflower, we cut long. And we cut it long so that way we could pack it all in a bin. I don't know how many heads we got in there, probably about 100. And when we stack them on top of each other, they're not ruining the next head underneath. Because if we cut them like this, what happens is when they sit on top of each other, they're gonna leave marks and then they turn black and it looks ugly. So what I'm doing now is taking the knife, just like when we're out in the field, and trimming it. So you can see how this is like a self-wrapping head. It's self-wrapped itself. So what I'm gonna do is cut the bottom off, just like that. And actually that was a little bit too short. And now I'll just take and cut around the edges until the head is nice and exposed. And now the customer can see what it looks like. So now we're moving on to cauliflower. You can see since the last time we were out here, a lot of the leaves are really starting to lay down now, just from all the cold weather. And they don't really have much life left in them. And they're even starting to get a little bit brown. We have basically cut everything that's good out of here. There is some small ones we might come back to later on and get. But once you peel these back, if I can show you here, which that one's actually not too bad. It's actually, the head is still frozen just from last night's frost. Right there's some ice. And so they're not bad. If they thaw out correctly, they should last about a week, but it's time now to get them sold. So everything we picked today, we're gonna make sure we sell tomorrow at market. Right here is one you can see right there, the ice on it. Again, it's not going to hurt it, just needs to thaw out correctly. Can't be brought into a hot room and just let it sit there. It'll thaw too fast and it'll rot. Kind of just needs to be at a constant temperature that's about freezing and just slowly thaw. That's a big one. So that discoloration there is just from the frost. If it's real bad, we'll take some of the layers off. If it's not, we don't usually worry about it. It ain't gonna affect the flavor none, just take that outside layer off. So we just got finished. Dad's loading the first bin of cabbage on right now. Then I'm gonna take the pallet jack, wheel it in the back, that way we're ready for market tomorrow. Then over there is the other bin along with the cauliflower. now we're up here in the Brussels sprout field. Just starting to, we only have a couple Brussels sprouts left. And we figured instead of cutting them off and then pulling the leaves off, we're gonna just pull leaves off, then cut them. So these aren't quite as pretty as some of the earliest ones, but that's also because they got frosted. So we'll get this, but there's still a lot of good left on them. If you didn't know, that's how Brussels sprouts grow, just like that. And then you pick this off. I'm gonna do this just to show you. And you'll put that right in your pan. Maybe take off a few of the outer leaves if you want to. And that's how it is.
Wow, Robert.
Yeah,
The other one wasn't like this. None of them were like that.
Really, Lily? That's kind of a goofy one. I'm gonna call it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember it ain't much, but it's honest work.